Alright, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Vibez. I'm bringing you guys my first Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War gameplay. And I didn't get a chance to play much of the alpha. I was busy over the weekend, but I did play a few games. Alright, so I want to kind of give you guys my first impressions and opinions about this game. Alright, and I don't want to come off sounding wrong because it's only an alpha. I don't want to push any of you guys buttons because, like I say, it's only an alpha. Things are subject to change. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, first, right off the bat, alright, I noticed you can tell this is a Treyarch game. You can tell by how the hit detection, the net coding, how the way you move, how the way it looks. We all know Treyarch games are known for their colorful graphics. So that's something that, I noticed right off the bat. But here's the thing. I noticed this game isn't as vibrant as the rest of their games. This game gives you a kind of Black Ops 1 kind of look as far as dark and gloomy and less colorful, but you could still tell it's made by Treyarch because it's more colorful than Infinity Ward and all the other COD developers out there. So right off the bat, it's Treyarch. It's their year. Let's see what they have. All right. Now, for some weird reason, I like the movement in this game. All right. I like how you slide. I like that it's like a little exo slide. I like it. I honestly think they can improve upon it, make it less sticky. All right, because the movement in this game feels kind of sticky, but I like how you move. I like how you move in this game better than how you move in Modern Warfare. That's just my opinion. I wasn't a fan of the whole double sprint thing in Modern Warfare. A lot of you guys say that movement was a whole lot smoother than the movement in Black Ops Cold War. In my opinion, I disagree with that because I felt like the whole tactical double sprint mechanic, I don't know, it just didn't sit right with me because I found myself trying to sprint regularly and then double sprinting, didn't recognize it. And then if you double sprint, your sprint ADS time was a lot slower, so you will lose a lot more gunfights. I didn't like it, in my opinion, but it did for the life cycle of that game. It did very well, I guess, to some who was a huge fan of Modern Warfare. I wasn't, didn't really like the game, don't really care about it. But Infinity Ward did bring some good aspects to the table, and I'm going to bring up a few aspects in this video. So, another thing, the gun-on-gun play in this game, for the most part, it's very good. Alright, I wasn't getting insta-melted by the guns that was in the alpha. It has been times I have gotten instantly headshotted or just, got melted so fast I didn't get a chance to react or have a gunfight. That's probably because of the network, the internet connection or whatever like that. What we were playing on the alpha build. So of course they're not done tuning their net code nor their hit detection or whatever like that. But the hit detection, it was fairly smooth when you're having gunfights. There have been times where my bullets didn't register. There have been times where the player's character animations, they weren't up to par. There has been times where player animations would freeze on the screen, they would skip across, but like I say, it's because of an alpha. That's why it's just because we're playing on the alpha build. Alright? In addition, I don't know. See, here's the part where I'm going to get to the bad stuff. Alright? And it's something that which I want to hit on. I want to touch on this topic, because it's very important for this year's Call of Duty, because I don't know. These are traditional 3-lane maps. Maybe it's just me, but these are traditional 3-lane maps. The features to open and close doors are not in the game anymore. They removed them. So I'm glad that that's a thing, because I didn't want to go through another year of players camping behind doors with claymores or bouncing bays or things such like that, like I had to endure with in Modern Warfare. So that's a good thing. But about these maps, even though there are traditional 3-lane maps, to me they seem kind of big, and it makes you feel kind of clunky when maneuvering around these maps. Yes, I feel like Treyarch are catering to noobs again, just like Infinity Ward did in Modern Warfare. They are doing the same thing because there are safe spaces on these maps. The map you're watching right now is called Miami. This is, in my opinion, this is probably my second favorite map in the alpha. All right, and I'm gonna touch on all 3 maps in the core mosh pit, not the 12v12. I didn't get a chance to play 12v12. I wasn't interested in it, or I guess the large domination game mode maps. I wasn't interested in it. Didn't really care. Didn't get a chance to play. I'm just gonna be touching base on the core mosh pit maps that we got in the beta. All right, so Miami, traditional 3-lane, kind of large in my opinion, and it may be a little too large, all right, for certain game modes. 6v6, I just feel like this map is just too big. It's too many places where players can camp it, in my opinion. It's just too big. And that's not a bad, well, it kind of is a bad thing. Like I say, for certain game modes, I feel like this map would favor more like a 10v10 game mode. We don't know all the game modes that are going to be coming to Cold War, but I hope all the maps aren't designed this big. All right. And about these maps, I truly feel there are too many places where players can hide at. The character visibility need to be looked at again, because it's hard to see certain characters in certain places on this map. And in my opinion, they're going to have to do something with the frame stutters on this game. Now, take into consideration, all right, Treyarch didn't have like 3 years to develop this game. They only had 2 years to develop this game, all right? And not only that, because of the whole I'm not allowed to say it, but it forced people to stay at home, and people had to work from home. But because of that, they only had like a total of 2 years to develop the game. And on top of that, they couldn't do much. And what I mean by that, my Infinity Ward had 3 years to develop Modern Warfare, all right? So when we played the alpha for Modern Warfare, everything felt polished. Then you play this alpha, it don't feel quite polished. It feels kind of rough with the animations. I don't like how the way you throw grenades in this game. In my opinion, it just take too long to leave your hand. The animation it's too long. So you can tell that this is a true alpha. Things aren't quite polished. Like I say, it's rough. It's in a rough state right now. In addition to that, besides the maps, all right, there's one map. Well, we're gonna touch base on these maps. So we touched Miami, all right. The map that's like probably gonna be my most favorite is Moscow. That map, in my opinion, is a good map. Perfectly designed, traditional 3-lane, not too big, not too small. Player visibility was relatively easy for me to see. I didn't have a hard time seeing players, no matter if they were camping between objects, buses, or anything. I still relatively seen players easily on that map. I don't know. I had the most fun with Moscow. Now, the last map is arguably my least favorite, probably the worst map that's going to be in the game at launch, just because that map literally had no flow, no vision to it, none whatsoever. That's Satellite. Now, don't yell at me in the comment section below, because I've seen a lot of YouTubers, I've seen their videos, and they say that it's probably one of their favorite maps. I just don't see how. I feel like if you don't get to the middle with a playing engine at, I feel like you have no chance. Because there's so many routes in that map. Even though it's a 3-lane, it's elevated. It's a 3-lane elevated map. You got players that can climb on rocks, kill you. They run through the ground, kill you. Then the spawns are just out of control on that map. Keep in mind, right now, at its current state in this game, there is no spawn protection. There is no spawn protection. So if you call in a chopper gunner, yeah, you can easily melt them coming off spawn. No spawn protection. And on top of that, the spawns are severely broken. And I don't know, I was only getting this on Satellite, that map only. People were spawning behind me. It was totally chaotic. I didn't really like it. In my opinion, the map had no flow. I felt like the only time you'll do good playing that map was if you get to the middle before the other team do hold down the position and catch them coming off spawn, or look further to your right and catch the snipers trying to snipe for long shots on the sand hills. I didn't like it. All right, as far as the customization go, like the whole gunsmith, in my opinion, I don't know why Treyarch did this. All right, I know that they're trying to keep this new engine going on. I know that Infinity Ward started this. I don't know why Treyarch did this. In my opinion, it's just gonna be another year of bots running around with bot scopes. All right, now if you guys watch my recent Infinity Ward, Modern Warfare videos, you would know that game to me, I feel like the game take no skill. All right, the quick ass time to kill and it'll flinch, it just makes it to where players get lucky headshots, and they using these little little scopes. I call them bot scopes because they just instantaneously lock on to you. And I feel like if you're not using a certain scope on your gun, you're gonna lose the gunfight in that game. And I feel like in this game, even though it's 150 health, I feel like it's still gonna favor to players who uses a certain scope on their gun. And don't bash me because you may think that I don't understand what he's saying, but bear with me. Back in Modern Warfare, if you didn't have a certain scope on your weapon, right? A certain scope. So if I had a GI Mini Flex versus somebody who had like an integral or a dual scope, you got a little red down on top and you got a little ACOG scope, I would probably lose against an ACOG scope versus my GI Mini Flex just because that scope is more zoomed in, and I feel as if certain scopes have better aim assist on them. Maybe it's just me, but in this game I was noticing the same thing. And I was noticing a lot. Players would equip different scopes on their weapon, they would relatively gun me down. And I would look at the kill cam, it showed I'm not missing not nail shot. And I know I wasn't missing not nail shot, but I would still lose the gunfight. I don't understand why. I'm not a fan of the gunsmith. I really want the regular pick 10 back. I'm not a fan of these new creative class system. I'm not. Now, let's touch onto the score streaks, all right? Once again, I'm not a fan of how the score streak system works in this game, all right? Now, will I say it's a bad system? No, it's not, because it gives every player an equal chance to get streaks no matter if they die or not. But here's the thing, you have a cooldown system, and the cooldown system for these streaks are like 90 seconds for UAV, for the low streaks, and for the high streaks. I disagree with that. For the lower streaks, right, the cooldown timer should be at least, maybe like, if it's a UAV, make it to where the cooldown may be 10 seconds, 15 seconds, because a lot of people like me, we like to play games, like to play Call of Duty to farm for nuclears, to go for nuclears. And the only streak I would catch myself running when I want to go for a nuclear is a UAV. That's all I ran in World War II was a UAV. That's all I ran in Black Ops 3 was most of the time a UAV. All I ran in Infinite Warfare was advanced UAV and UAV, counter UAV. And I like the system, because in a sense it does make sense. It gives every player equal chance to get streaks. It's not like a OP requisitions where you're just going to be gifted streaks. No, you have to go on a certain number of like kill streaks to get your streaks. What I mean by that, you have to keep getting kills, chain of kills. It's going to give you bonus score towards your kill streaks, your score streaks. So, but if you die, then you have to start all the way back over, and the score is going to be significantly harder to get unless you go, like I said, on the kill chain streak. That's easier said than done. Take into consideration you're going to be going up against player on your skill level. And yeah, you already know what I'm getting into. The next topic we're going to talk about: skill-based matchmaking in Black Ops Cold War. Now, me personally in the alpha, I didn't really experience any skill-based matchmaking, but you could tell it's gonna be there because I have gotten in lobbies where players were playing like above my skill level, and it's just gonna happen. It's gonna be in the game, so there is no reason to threaten developers and tell them take this out of the game or like tone it down or remove it completely or do something about it, because there's no reason we should be getting skill-based matchmaking lobbies in an alpha. In a sense, it kind of makes sense. I understand why players are concerned about this. It is an alpha. We were getting some people were getting lobbies that were just absolutely ridiculous, but at the same time, it's an alpha. It's used to get feedback data. The developers are going to collect this stuff and they're going to take it into consideration. Here's my response to that. All right, regarding skill-based matchmaking, what I don't want, at least tone it down, but don't completely remove it, because if you completely remove it and you're getting lobbies that you're going to keep absolutely dominating, it's not going to be any fun. All right, you're going to want to have a competition. You're going to want to state your dominance. It's not fun dominating bots all day. I can tell you that right now. So it's a tricky topic, but in a sense, you don't want to consistently sweat 24/7 either, like you're playing Modern Warfare 2019, because every lobby you get in on that game, they're sweating, leaning on objects and all that, etc. It's not fun. Or if you play Black Ops 4, you got Greasy Booty Pro 69 flying around, gunning you down with a DLC weapon. It's not fun. In my opinion, the best Call of Duty when it came to matchmaking on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One consoles, the best Call of Duty that I had the most fun on when it came to matchmaking, I will have to say World War II. In my opinion, Call of Duty World War II did not, you couldn't really tell it had skill-based matchmaking in that game. It has been times I ran to certain lobbies where players were on my skill level, but it hasn't been, I can't remember one time where I ran to a lobby and I just got absolutely annihilated. Like, absolutely annihilated to the point where I couldn't stand a chance. I feel that, I feel like in Black Ops Cold War, I feel like the skill-based matchmaking is going to be very strong because I don't know if you guys remember not. Before the alpha, before we got gameplay, it was already leaked that the devs said they're going to be using the same skill-based matchmaking system that Infinity Ward used in Modern Warfare. And if they use that system, then Black Ops Cold War is not going to be a very good Call of Duty, and it's probably gonna die within its first 2 months of release. I can't see many players playing that game other than Warzone, because if the skill-based matchmaking is like how it is in Modern Warfare 2019, then it's not gonna be fun. It's just not. No one likes to load into a game and get absolutely shredded. It's not fun. It's not. Now, another thing I want to talk about, the graphics. All right, I don't care if it's an alpha. All right, I don't. Because when it comes to this topic, there's no excuse. For this to be a Call of Duty game that's scheduled to release on not only the Xbox One X, the Xbox One S, the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 4 Pro, PC, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 5 Digital, Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X, and slap it on there again, an upgraded PC. If I'm missing one, let me know. But there should be no reason these graphics look as they look. Alright, these graphics look like a PlayStation 3 Modern Warfare-ish Call of Duty. How dull the graphics are. Everything just seems so washed. It's not as realistic or as beautiful as Infinity Ward's 2019 Modern Warfare was. Now let's look. Let's take it into consideration. Infinity Ward, they don't have the best graphics nor the best color correction. But for some weird reason, the engine they was using, in Modern Warfare 2019 made the game look absolutely beautiful. It wasn't even about the color correction in that game. It was about the graphics and how realistic they look. The guns, how much of a glare it gave off to the player. The camos look beautiful. But then I load up Black Ops Cold War. Notice I said the alpha. I load up this game, and it's ugly. That may have been the most unlogical word to use in that little sentence, but it's ugly. It's absolutely horrendous. The graphics don't even look like a Treyarch game graphics. If you go back and you look at Black Ops 3, how beautiful that game was, color-wise, graphical-wise. You look at Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4, beautiful. Graphics was still a downgrade. The colors were beautiful. It significantly got better as the game lifecycle went on, but it doesn't change the fact that it was still beautiful. All right. Now, we play this game. It's hard to see players. The guns are dull, like I said, and the animation just seems so stiff. I don't like it. Don't know how it's gonna play out. Hopefully, by beta, we get some cleaner graphics, some more polished animations, and just overall a whole overhaul to the entire experience. Not saying the graphics were the worst I've ever seen before. To be a next-gen Call of Duty title is not that appealing. All right, it's not that appealing to look at, nor astonishing. So I want to touch on this last thing. All right, we touched on all the minor points, major points, or whatever like that. But this last part will break or make Call of Duty Cold War. All right, and that's Treyarch's netcode. Treyarch is known for having their hit detection a little bit off. All right, in Black Ops 3, I feel like in Black Ops 3, that was the smoothest hit detection out of any Treyarch game to date. All right, Black Ops 3 for some reason felt better than Black Ops 4, Black Ops 2, and hell, Black Ops 1. I don't know what engine, I don't know what they used to create Black Ops 3, but for some weird reason, I felt like that was the most polished and well-balanced Treyarch Call of Duty game to date. But then I played Black Ops Cold War Alpha, and I don't know if it's 150 health. Obviously, the weapons are not tuned. They're not buffed. They're not, the weapons are not tuned properly. Obviously, it's an alpha. But I don't know. But I felt at times I would shoot players first, and I would die first, and I'm not missing it. None of my shots. It feels like at times the health bar over the head. I'm shooting them. The health bar is steadily decreasing, and I suddenly lose the gunfight. It's been times where I shot at players and none of my bullets didn't register to like the fourth bullet. And then they would instantly turn on me and I get melted when I clearly should have won the gunfight. And see, this is the problem. If you're going to have a game with skill-based matchmaking to the level of Modern Warfare 2019 skill-based matchmaking, you're going to have a better netcode. Because players are not going to want to shoot first and get BS'd out of gunfights. Alright? Now, in Modern Warfare, Infinity Ward's netcode have down there always been good. Like they hit detection always been solid. So if you lost a gunfight in any of their games, you knew it's because of your gun skill, not because of their hit detection. But in addition to that, in Modern Warfare 2019, you really couldn't, and even if you didn't, you really couldn't even tell because, like I say, the TTK in that game was too fast. Like, you really didn't have a chance to turn on someone in that game because if you did, you would automatically get melted. It only took like 3 or 4 shots to kill someone in that game. And depending on your internet connection, depending on where you're at, it varied. Like, there have been times where I got literally insta-melted. And like I say, that goes back to the optics. I'm not a fan of Gunsmith. And I really do hope if they're going to do Gunsmith in Black Ops Cold War Alpha, they need to really look at some of the optics in the game. Because I feel like in Infinity Ward's Modern Warfare 2019, if you had a certain optic on your gun, you were bound to win a gunfight. I feel like that. I don't know if it's just me or not, but hey, I felt like that. So, yeah, that being said, Treyarch's netcode really do need to be looked at. Alright? Now, let's get into the leaks. I can't put this image up on the screen, but this has already been confirmed. It's obviously it's real. And it's regarding zombies. As you guys may know, I started my YouTube channel as a zombies YouTuber. I like zombies. I still do love zombies. I go back and play every now and then. I've done every Easter egg there is to do when it comes to all Treyarch games, like Treyarch games, Black Ops Zombies. It doesn't matter. I've done the Easter eggs. Now, here's the thing. Perk machines are confirmed to return. The 4 original Ether crew, the characters from the Ether, Richtofen, Nikolai, Dempsey, Takio, no, they're not coming back because they're going to be getting, I guess, campaign characters, a new crew. The zombie maps, alright? Now, here's where things get a little troublesome. Because from the leaks that I'm reading, it seems like they're gonna just give us the middle finger once again, like they did with Black Ops 4 Zombies, and give us a whole bunch of remakes and slap it on and call them new maps. But it's with a twist. So you're gonna have old maps returning in new maps. What I mean, you're gonna have Notched. It's gonna be a German facility. Boom, boom, boom. We already know that for Call of Duty Cold War Zombies, a German facility, and Notched, their tone is gonna be a part of that map, or at least a section of that map. All right, that's one map. Don't know the name. Is it Der? I don't really know the name of it. Don't believe me? You can look it up. Hell, I even probably tag it in the comment section with a link in the description below. But that's one map. The second map, it's supposed to be a giant remake or a giant expansion. All right, yeah, that's what the leaks say, and these are true. These are confirmed to be true because the leaked image is confirmed to be true by an insider. The giant expansion is not going to be a completely giant remake. It may be an expansion of the giant. So, and before I even touch on that, not only we get a giant remake, all right, we get a Kino der Toten remake expansion. These are 3 maps, all right. Transit has not been confirmed to be at launch on the release of Cold War yet. It's supposed to be added in along the game's life cycle as a part of Warzone, not even has its own standalone zombies map. So here's the thing, all right, because I feel like they're giving us the big middle finger again when it comes to zombies. I don't want another Treyarch game full of nothing but remakes. If they didn't learn in Black Ops 4, I guess they're not gonna learn in Cold War either. So with these maps, let's go back to the Giant. It says it's supposed to be a giant expansion, Doris expansion. Yeah, so you know the buildings on the if you go in the back of the map, with in the middle of the map, right, where the teleporter is. If you go out of that door, you remember it was a fence that mystery box used to be right there, and if you look over the balcony, you see a whole bunch of buildings. See one big giant street and a whole bunch of buildings behind it, right? So apparently, all this time, those are placeholders to what the Giant originally supposed to be. All right. So back in Black Ops 1, back in Black Ops 2, no, not 2, but back in Black Ops 3, and hell, even World at War, Doris, there's nothing changed. Those buildings where you can't access, those buildings that just look like unmodded, incomplete textures, were apparently placeholders for the rest of the map. Yes, the Giant were originally supposed to be bigger than what we got in Black Ops 3. All right. And I guess in Black Ops Cold War, since they're going to be using the power of the next gen consoles, and you know, the current gen consoles can't pull, yes, they can pull that expanded Giant map onto it. They can pull it by using some of the power of like the next gen hardware. They can pull it. It just won't look as good as it's going to look on next gen consoles, but they can pull it. So apparently, yes, the Giant is supposed to be remade as an expansion, like an expanded map. Like, it's supposed to be bigger. You're going to have like different streets you can navigate through. I don't know how this is going to work, but that's what the leaks say. And now the Kino der Tone remake. So Zombie Chronicles, back in Black Ops 3, we got Kino der Tone, and it's the original Kino, just like we seen in Black Ops 1. And if you go outside, you can stare onto the streets. You see the buildings all the way in the back. You see the long giant streets, and you see at a certain part of the map was a fence that we can never navigate through. We can hop the fence, we couldn't jump over it, anything like that. So apparently, the remake Kino version is supposed to be expanded to something bigger, better. Now, the leaks do say that the Kino der Tone remake is supposed to be Treyarch's largest zombie map to date. That's what the leaks say. I don't know how that's gonna work. Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't care if it's Giant, buried. I don't want any more remakes. I don't. Now for multiplayer, yeah, it's fine. You could bring back Firing Range, Summit, Nuketown, Villa. You could bring back remake maps for multiplayer. It's multiplayer. I don't think people would care, you know, as long as they get true traditional 3-lane, really fun maps. But it's gonna come a time where that's gonna become burnt out as well. Don't overhaul us with remade maps. Give us brand new maps. Yeah, it's sure. Yeah, you can have a Zombie Chronicles 2 DLC pack with remade expanded maps, but don't, at launch, it's not going to be a good look if we get nothing but remade zombie maps. I don't care if they have a different aesthetic or anything like that. It's not going to be a good look. All right. So I just wanted to touch on that. Yes, the alpha. Did I have fun playing it? Of course I did. Is the game good? Too soon to judge. Will the game be great? I highly doubt it, because let's face it, there is no COD game out here that is great other than Call of Duty World War II. So it's been your boy Wavy Vibes, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next gameplay.